Coming up on City Spotlight, it's another two-community episode here in Season 12 as we talk two communities in Clark County. First, we sit down with Casey Mayor Mike Nichols, and then Marshall Mayor John Hasten. We'll have 2025 recaps on Casey and Marshall with Mike and John, and also talk public works, economic development, and upcoming holiday festival in their respective communities of Casey and Marshall. We're highlighting 2025 in the communities of Casey and Marshall. Next on City Spotlight. City Spotlight on WEIU-TV is underwritten by the Illinois Arts Council, a state agency. And hello and welcome to another edition of City Spotlight. We continue Season 12 and we have an all Clark County episode today featuring two communities in the wonderful county of Clark County. And we are back in a familiar spot, City Hall in Casey. And we welcome back to the program, a third time on the program, the Mayor of Casey, Mike Nichols. Mike, great to be back and talking with you.
Glad to have you again, sir. Appreciate you coming down.
And we are taping with Mike here just before the busy holiday season. We're taping here on November 18th, 2025. Again, Mike's third time on the program. We last taped with him summer of 2023, so long overdue.
Yep.
Sorry for the delay, but let's get right into it and let's follow up on the things that we talked about last time. And we talked about events last time, but I think they're worth following up again. We taped just prior to the 4th of July time period in 2023, and you had some ideas on a freedom celebration because we talked about small towns and how do you celebrate when they fall. So what kind of progress did you make on that?
Well, since we've talked last, our Freedom Festival, which is the 4th of July weekend, has grown immensely. We've got the events in the park, bands, and then we have our firework display. And our firework display, we've been able to grow that to a point that it's one of the better ones around. That we really wanted to kind of hit on that. It's expanded to some more food trucks and a little bit of everything for everybody in the community. But our bright star of the whole weekend, not only do we have the parade, which is very nice, but we also have our fireworks display and you know, a lot of the local folks, you got to go a ways to find a decent fireworks display. So we wanted to make sure that some of the locals that didn't really have the opportunity to travel as far could have a good display and enjoy celebrating the freedom of our nation here at home. And it's really gone a long way.
Move on from that. Very good. Glad to see that prospered into what you wanted it to be. 2 years ago, I last year, I taped at the 2024 edition of the KZ Popcorn Festival. We taped, the last time we taped with Mike, we talked about the new youthful leadership taking over that from the gentleman that had ran it for so long. Had a great feature on that. It was a great time. And from your eyes, it's nearly KZ Popcorn Festival, nearing 40 years in KZ, almost there. How do you think that new leadership is doing?
The young ones are doing great. It's, you know, time changes everything, and the changing of the guard, the folks that started it, a lot of them stayed with it for a long time. They got to where it was time to get some young blood in, and we've got a group of young people that jumped in, seen a vision, and really moved it forward, and you cannot imagine how many people that we had down here for that long weekend. It's a 4-day festival now, and it runs Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and we've got bands every day down at the park. The park is packed. We've got a carnival down there, and they have really taken that to a new level, and you know, it's any given day down there, we've got 25,000 people in the park, and it's really turned into quite the event, and it's probably one of our signature events of the year. And you know, I'm going to give that group credit. The city doesn't really have a whole lot to do with the organization of it. It's all done by the young people on that committee. Our city clerk here is one of them that's on the board that does that, and those folks do a fine job, and it's nothing but getting better each and every year.
Had a wonderful time taped on that Saturday for the KZ Popcorn Festival, which is almost hit to the 40-year mark here in KZ. Coming up here, we are taping this here before Thanksgiving,
right?
But this episode is airing the first full week of December, leading up to the 11th Candy Canes on Main. I apologize, I'm not going to be able to make it to it, but we're taping before it. So let's give folks at home a little preview. It's the 11th edition, so a decade of being in KZ, another edition of some festival. Every town seems to now have some kind of annual holiday Christmas event. This is KZ's. What can we expect?
The Candy Canes on Main, again, is another one of our events that is organized primarily by individuals. The downtown businesses have put together to basically form that to bring some attention to the downtown area and to the business. We have the parade on Saturday, and it's an evening parade, and you need to come and see it. We're a farming community, and our farmers take pride in what they do and how they do it, and they decorate, dress up all their equipment. You're going to see combines in full Christmas attire coming down Main Street. They're big wagons. Plenty of individuals and families get involved with their family displays of Christmas and that. And then we have the businesses stay open fairly late.
Right.
And we got some vendors downtown. It's a Saturday event, and it goes mostly all day Saturday and into the parade at night. But I've got folks that come from Chicago. Some of the groups from Chicago have come down and done some music videos here in our area with all of our big things in a small town.
Yes.
They took a look at it and decided they wanted to come down. Now they come down every Candy Canes on Main and try to do some work around here. So it's growing and getting us too. But those three things you mentioned, our Freedom Festival, our Popcorn Festival, and our Candy Canes on Main, really, along with our big things in a small town.
Just a little bit to do in KZ.
Just a little bit to do in KZ, and it's keeping us out there and keeping us in the public light. And then folks like yourself come and give us a shout out that we greatly appreciate. And that's what we got going good for us here in KZ, Illinois.
Well, that's why we keep on coming back, because we like to talk about the good things.
Good.
All right. Candy Canes on Main, 11th edition, December 5th and 6th. All right, let's follow up on economic development. And we talked about the north end of town when we last taped with you 2 years ago, driving in Route 49, and I saw some of those things that you had talked about possibly happening for KZ. Let's start with the new truck stop.
They expanded. It was a gas station for years, and they have expanded into allowing some trucks to come in, have a truck parking area, have some shower facilities there. So it has grown as much as it can possibly grow. We're starting to expand and work with some utilities to run them north of the interstate to try to get some new development north of 70. We're working on some development between 70 and Route 40 that we've got the McDonald's, we've got the Dollar General and that there. Since the last talk to you, our dispensary has opened up. Looks
very nice. Nice looking building.
That has helped us a ton with some corporate dollars coming in by the way the tax structures are there.
Correct.
It keeps traffic flowing through that way.
And a renovated pharmacy.
Yes, the pharmacy had been where it was for quite a while, and it was getting to the point they needed additional room and to be able to expand. And there was a vacant corner up on 40 where you seen that needed to be, I don't say improved or utilized more. And the folks that own the pharmacy shop built a beautiful brand new building there, and it's state of the art.
As I was driving by, we were talking before we hit the record button. I said it looked really new, and you said it's been open since
September.
That's very new.
When it opened, and I'm a friend with the local pharmacists there. They love it there. It's working out perfect. Easier for most people to get to.
True.
Highly visible, and that's going to be one of the premier new buildings we got here in town.
I know there are some things maybe you want to talk about from an economic development, maybe coming down the pipeline, but let's shift gears. It's the end of the year. Tell us what public works projects have been done here in KZ in 2025.
Well, we wanted to improve our sidewalks. We've got all three of our schools are fairly close together, and we wanted to make sure that the kids get to and from each
Right.
safely. So we pretty well redid all of our sidewalks, and got new sidewalks going to the school, safe routes to school sidewalk program. We've done that. We had some areas in town. We're an older town,
Right.
and we had some older buildings in town that we wanted to concentrate on and work on trying to either remove the ones that couldn't be repaired, and we have partnered with the Central Illinois Land Bank to be able to take the ones that are able to be rehabbed, work with them, and improve our housing here in town, which we needed. The bad thing about small towns, we lose population because we don't have any jobs coming to town. I can't comment on it in great detail, but we've got some possibilities here in the near future and some things that's going to be happening to improve that. But we're working on the housing. We're working on the sidewalks. We had some problems with some trees that was jeopardizing some of our electrical ways. Well, we've contracted out for some tree removal and beautification. So between cleaning up some of the dilapidated homes and working with the new sidewalks and eliminating some of our troubled dead trees, it's starting to look a lot better around town.
Very good. Thank you for that update there. And again, we're taping here just before Thanksgiving 2025. Folks at home seeing this early December. You, Mike, were your first term as mayor of Casey was spring of 2021. Yep. So is it every 4 years in Casey?
Every 4 years.
So you're now, congratulations, your second term?
I'm 6 months deep into my second term.
All right.
And I got a very good council to work with. The one thing you need in the council is people's not afraid to speak up even if they disagree with you. and we have some pretty good conversations, but for the benefit of the city of Casey, that's good. You want to be able to have different opinions, some diversified opinions on what's good and that. But we work good together after discussion, and for the benefit. And I'm very proud of the things we've been able to do to work with the city. We've since our first term, we've cut property tax 20%. Now we had to do a little bit of an increase this year because we lost some numbers, but we have taken 20% decrease in our property tax, just the city property tax, not the whole property tax. We eliminated a 4.5% utility tax that we didn't need, and we added a 1 cent per kilowatt discount to the electric bill. Those three things stay in place. Now we've had to do some adjustment on rates because we've lost about 750 in population, and you got fewer people spreading the same cost. We had to do some adjustment on the rates, but overall, our utilities are well within the average rate and probably lower than the state average in some places. So we're doing good there, and that looks like from a financial standpoint, we're going to be able to maintain those economic costs for all of our citizens moving forward and still be a pretty reasonable place to live.
He's Mike Nichols. He's the mayor of Casey. We've taped with him 3 times here on City Spotlight. Mike, I don't want to say it in a negative term, but this is probably our final time taping here on City Spotlight with you. It's been an absolute pleasure taping with you, and best of luck to you and Casey moving forward. It's been a treat talking with you.
You too, bud, and you take care in the future, and good luck, and I hope we can turn things around and I can see you in the future.
Absolutely. Look forward to talking to our mayors and leaders here in Central Illinois. Coming up next here on City Spotlight, we'll head east and talk to another Clark County Mayor, John Hasten, the mayor of Marshall, to catch up on the latest in Marshall. But first, let's take a look at some of the upcoming activities going on in the communities of Casey and Marshall. And we're back here on City Spotlight, this latest 2-community episode here in season 12. We're talking all things Clark County. So we started in Casey. We have traveled east over to Marshall, traveled Clarksville Road today to come back and join for the 3rd time on the program, the mayor of Marshall, John Hasten. John, great to have you on again for a 3rd time. Long overdue.
Good morning. Good morning. The wind blew you down here.
It did. It pushed me very nicely on Clarksville Road. We are taping here on the eve of Thanksgiving 2025. That's November 26th to be exact. and we last taped with John. We actually taped with you 2 times in 2022, the first 2 times we had you on, and you are now in second term?
Second term.
All right, congratulations.
Yeah. First year of my second term.
All right, very good. So again, we're taping with John here at the end of the year. Happy early Thanksgiving and happy holidays to folks out there as we're taping here the day before Thanksgiving. And it's been a little while since we taped, so let's catch up on all things Marshall. We're not going to recap the last 3 years since we haven't taped with you in a little while, but let's catch up on 2025. The good things that all happened here. What are you thankful for in
Sounds
Marshall?
like a plan.
And let's start with Public Works. Give us some highlights of Public Works in Marshall in 2025.
Marshall's very, very lucky as far as, I wouldn't say lucky, I'd say our founding fathers planned things very well. Marshall owns all 4 of its utilities, which provides the business side of the city with money to do things with. And we feel like we've been very, very good at managing the money, making it sustainable for the long distance. We feel like that we're trying to upgrade as many things as we possibly can. We provide water for both Martinsville and Casey.
Correct.
So we sell the water to them. Again, it's a way that we can fund things going on where the corporate side of the city, we're not having to tax our people as well as some places do, or as much as some places do. We haven't raised property tax in the last 5 years for the city. That has been something that we are very, very proud of to keep it down, but that's the utilities, and be able to maintain the utilities as we have them going, making sure that everyone is getting what they needed when they need it. And we have a great group of workers down in the garage that know how to fix everything. And thank goodness I'm not the guy who has to get on the truck at 2 in the morning, but they know how to do it and they make it work.
We've talked about that water component that you guys have
Mm-hmm.
going. That's very stable, and that has to be a very, very good feeling to have that. Talk about another aspect of Public Works. How are your city roads doing?
The motor fuel tax pays for a lot of roads. We go through and we test them, but we've added some space to roads. There's a street called Mulberry Street that runs right between the high school and the Christian church. We've extended that to go out to the frontage road so that there can be through traffic. It's a safety issue for schools. There has to be avenues to, in case of an emergency, to get kids away from the schools, and there has to be a way to get emergency vehicles into the schools. And this added another avenue for us. But on the same time, we now have apartments going up along that area to increase housing in Marshall. And it looks like it'll be a process over the next 2 more years to get more housing in Marshall.
So the housing is already going up there?
Yeah, the apartments are already being built, the first set of apartments.
Very good.
There'll be a second and a third set. Another, to kind of go along with this, the city over the last couple of years has been able to acquire various properties, and these properties generally had derelict buildings on them or derelict trailers that were housing varmints, either human or animal.
Okay.
And we were able to acquire those and clean off the properties, resell them to contractors on which to build homes. And that we feel like we're creating more housing. That was something that is needed in Marshall, is housing.
Where's an example of a location that's happening, what you just talked about?
South 11th Street.
Okay.
There was
an area that we have talked about previously here on the program where there was the idea of
a park.
Of the park that you told me is not going to happen, but in that area.
Right, in that area. It was a house that had not been lived in for maybe 12 years.
Wow.
And it was falling apart. We spoke with the owner. His plans had changed. He was willing to sell it to us. We bought it. The city bought it. We took our crews in. We cleaned off the old building that was damaged and critters were going in and out of, and cleaned off the property.
So there was a resident, it just wasn't a human.
Yes, yeah, well, correct. And how many, we don't know. It's supposed to be a single family. Anyway, we cleaned it off. We're getting it, we had it annexed into the city, and we're going to resell the property to a contractor to build a new home on. We've been doing this kind of thing for the last 2 or 3 years to get properties reused and to clean up neighborhoods that have these derelict buildings, which are a danger to children and everything else. So that is a big process that we have going on.
All right, you read my mind. That was kind of on my last of that area before we talk economic development, so well done there, sir. Let's move on to economic development. What new businesses, how are Marshall businesses doing here at the end of 2025?
I'm going to say this, Laura Pierce and the Chamber of Commerce has done a really good job of bringing businesses or getting businesses to start here. We have several restaurants that have either changed hands or have been brought in and started up on Main Street. Swan's Landing is on the south side of the Main Street block, the 600 block, and it's a new restaurant that's just gotten started. The Gypsy Queen started 2 or 3 years ago as a coffee shop. It's doing very, very well. Well, let me see.
Last time, I don't mean to cut you off, but the last time we taped, you had talked about some area there on South Route 1 there. We are available for space. You used the word free. Is there any developments down that way?
We have some nibbles going on right now.
Nibbles, okay.
And it's amazing. It's free property, 30 acres to a business that would want to come in and establish a business. It's free property. Jerry Forsyth very nicely
He's
offered
contributed a few things through the years.
Oh, he's done a ton of things here in town. And he offered the property to the city if some business would like to come in and do that. We do actually have a strong possibility here just in the last 2 weeks taking a look at it.
Really?
So we're not at free to say anything at this point.
Understand.
But there's a possibility of that.
Prospects for something to appear in 2026.
Exactly. And we feel like there's a Starbucks out by the interstate now. And interestingly, Starbucks is one of those businesses that's meticulous about planning. And will they come in here? And if they come in here, other businesses look at them.
That's a big name.
It is. And
the big name can, as you say, attract others that go, if it's good there, maybe we could be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They let Starbucks do all the data work and then they come in and read the data. And so we're hoping that we'll pick up a couple more businesses out by the interstate just because Starbucks came to Marshall.
And there's another addition there via the interstate. So
exactly.
The interstate has been a great resource for Marshall through the years. I was going to add one more thing about businesses. TIF district, we talked about that briefly.
Yes.
How is that? Did that work out?
It's working very well.
Okay.
The TIF district is over in the 3rd ward. Now, that would be where this new lot that we talked about, that it was cleaned off.
Yes, that area.
Most of the 3rd ward is in the TIF district.
Right.
It's, we have Stevens subdivision going up in the TIF district. So it's going, a TIF district, for those who aren't sure how it works.
Yeah, briefly explain how a TIF district works.
Yeah. The property tax level that was in the TIF district before it became a TIF district is the base level. After it becomes a TIF district, any increase in the property tax in the TIF district goes to the TIF district. All the taxing bodies still get their basic amount, but the extra money goes into the TIF district to be used to develop the blighted area. A TIF district is supposed to be a blighted area, one that hasn't been growing. It hasn't been a part of the city that is booming. So you end up putting this money back into the TIF district to pick up that area to make it more desirable to live in, maybe more desirable for businesses that are coming into the area. We're using it as more of a residential TIF. We're trying to increase the number of residents or helping them to take care of the properties that they have or purchase properties, clean them off, and put them back into service by a contractor. And we've got 2 or 3 contractors that are very busy right now building homes over in that area.
Fantastic. Hope to get shots of all those things that you've probably already been seeing in this episode. Our time did fly by. I want to squeak in here in the last minute, John. We are taping the week of hometown holidays,
Yeah.
6th and 7th in Marshall. It's that time of year. Everyone seems to have that scheduled for that first weekend in December. Give us a couple of points to end the episode on what to expect with holidays. A great time of year.
Oh, holidays is a wonderful time of year. Come into Marshall and stay till after dark, because there's going to be a parade after dark, a Christmas parade.
Lighted parade.
But look at the lighting. It's going to be wonderful. Really good people have increased the lighting around town. We're going to have a Bethlehem experience in there, where you can travel to the various venues, various scenes that are found in the Bible.
It'll be located on 6th Street. I got the list right here.
You got it right there. We're going to be doing that over in Harlan Hall. There's going to be vendors for Christmas over there. You can visit Santa Claus if you really need to try to convince him you've been good so far this year. And so you can go over there to see that. Many of the businesses around town are going to be open a little later that day.
Probably.
And the art colony will be available and things like that.
And the events bleed into some nice activities on the Sunday as well. So
Yes.
a nice 2-day event of holidays.
Bring your ice skates. We have an ice
See that?
rink that's going to be here. It'll be here
And there are some
Friday,
other
Saturday,
towns that
Sunday.
are doing that too. The ice, if
Yep.
it works for one town, it works for another.
Yeah, my ice skates generally make me fall, so I'm not going to do that.
I stay off skates. I need pads and the football helmet and everything to
the
crash.
whole thing.
John Hasten, Mayor of Marshall, it has been an absolute treat, sir,
Thank you.
to come and tape with you all 3 times. Probably our final time taping. I'm saddened to say that, but been a real joy to tape with you and all of your predecessors in this wonderful community. It's been great to me to come and tape with you guys and all of your festivals, Lemonade Stand, Autumn Fest. But that Wall Dogs, I every time I come through Marshall, I reminisce about taping those Wall Dog meals going up, because I was here every day that when that came up. So John Hasten, Mayor of Marshall, it's been a treat, and best of luck to Marshall moving forward.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Happy holidays
And
to you.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Okay.
We've been talking all things Clark County here on City Spotlight, the communities of Casey and Marshall. Thanks for watching.
City Spotlight on WEIU TV is underwritten by the Illinois Arts Council, a state agency